If you feel like you're being held back by a lack of confidence in your life, personally and or professionally, the problem is most likely that you don't actually truly and fully understand what confidence is and what it's not and what it's actually built on. And don't worry, you are not alone. Listen, I've coached enough people over the years to know, and I don't just mean any individual people. I mean some people that are high performing people, entrepreneurs earning multiple six figures of personal income, even seven figures plus of personal income. And these folks will still get into coaching conversations and tell me why they can't execute on something because they lack confidence. And so what I know for certain then is that confidence does not come just from prior successes and achievements and a track record of doing a given thing. And by the way, you know this to be certain too, whether you've coached anyone ever before in your life or not, because if you've ever watched sports in your life and you've seen some of the highest performing athletes, professional athletes, whether it's NBA players, MLB players, NFL players, soccer, like doesn't matter the sport, tennis players, there are people that have performed at the highest level. They've won championships, and yet they get into a slump. And what do they say is the reason that they're in a slump? They lost their confidence, or something shook their confidence. And now all of a sudden they've lost momentum, and it becomes this downward spiral of lack of confidence, leading to bad performance, leading to less confidence, leading to worse performance, leading to this sustained failure time and time and time again. And so what do these people have to do? They go to peak performance coaches that help them reframe their thinking and get back to peak levels of confidence so that they can get back to peak levels of performance. So whether you're an athlete, entrepreneur, salesperson, leader, manager, or just getting started in your career, you know as well as I do that confidence is probably the key foundation for achieving more, for moving forward, for building momentum and creating the success you desire, deserve, and know that you should be experiencing in your life. And so here's the thing. If you don't yet have the confidence you want, it's because you are believing the myth of confidence, which is that, and by the way, I'm going to give you the myth clearly up front here, and then I'm going to give you the 4 pillars of what actually gives you unshakable, strong, and powerful confidence so that you can build that for yourself and then accelerate yourself based on that as your new foundation for success in confidence. And so here's the myth. The myth is, and I kind of already alluded to it, but let me be direct. The myth is that you get your confidence from your past successes and your track record and history of achievement. Again, if there's elite level entrepreneurs earning multiple 6 and even multiple 7 figures of income and elite performing professional athletes who have won championships and dominate on their field or in their given sport, and yet all of these folks can still have their confidence shaken and quote unquote lose their confidence, then clearly it does not just come from a track record of success. Now, to be fair, can your confidence be built on looking at your track record of success and achievement? For sure. But if you right now today feel like an imposter, which a lot of people feel like, oh, I've got imposter syndrome because I'm new to this, or I'm early in my career, or I'm young, or I'm blah, 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 blah. I don't have a track record of success. How can I show that I'm successful? How can I have confidence in any success if I've never had success? Well, if you're one of these people and you're like, I literally have little to zero actual successes that I can lean on to give me confidence, don't worry, you are in luck. Because there are other things you can build and should build your confidence on that have nothing to do with your past performance or a track record of success and achievement that you can look back on and have your confidence in. Because by the way, I believe that having the track record, you can leverage it for sure. It can be part of your foundation, but if you don't have it, then you don't have it. What are you going to do? You're going to do these 4 things. These are going to be your 4 pillars of unshakable, powerful, strong confidence that you can lean on every single day to have the confidence you need to achieve the results and create the outcomes that you want to need in your life personally and professionally. So let's start with number 1. And number 1 and number 2 are going to seem simple, but the reality is you've got to ask yourself, how much do you rely on these things for your confidence? Like, listen to me. If you want to have more confidence, are you willing to try anything? So if you don't right now have the confidence that you want, let me encourage you that you should at least test these for yourself. You don't even have to believe me that these are the pillars of confidence, but test them out before you decide that they're not the pillars of confidence, because I believe what you're going to find is when you start to use these as your pillars of confidence, you're going to have more confidence. You're going to have more strength in your confidence. You're going to feel more empowered and equipped with confidence. You're going to be like, Yeah, those are the pillars. But you don't even have to believe me yet. Listen to these 4 pillars, test them in your own life, and see what happens. Get your own real world results. Pillar number 1, faith. Faith. Now, this is different than hope, which I'll cut to the chase, is point number 2, and I'll describe it in a second. But faith. People often wonder how I have unshakable confidence, and it's because my faith is not built on who I am or what I've done. My faith is built on the one that is my Savior, Jesus Christ. And I'm not trying to make this a religious thing, but what the truth is, like, if you want to know how come I have virtually unshakable confidence in many situations, it's because I know my life's not about me. Like, if I take the attention off of me, which most people don't, most people lack confidence because they put way too much attention on themselves and who they are and what they can do, instead of whose they are and what He can do. Because if you have faith that you are not the ultimate being in this world, and that your eternity in heaven is the most important thing in your life, then what is there to be afraid of? What is there to lack confidence in? In fact, it says in the Bible 365 times. I had to look it up recently because someone told me this was the number. I was like, is that right? 365 times it says, do not be afraid, or do not fear, or something along those lines, but it's 365 times. Why? Because God wants us to know every day of our lives that we should not fear. There's no room for fear. And if you no longer fear anything, you can have unshakable confidence. And to me, that lack of fear comes from a complete and total faith in whose you are and what your truth is here on earth. Your truth is not for the worldly material things. It's for eternity in heaven. And so if you have faith in eternity with Jesus, then how are you going to lack confidence? You're not. I'm telling you, like, this is your one pillar of confidence. But most people are like, okay, yeah, but what are the other pillars? Because I really want confidence. Like, that's actually all you need. But when it comes to peak performance in any given moment, these other 3 pillars will matter. And by the way, faith is very specific. When you study positive psychology, like, I know I'm taking this out of the realm now of religion into psychology, into science, which I know is at odds at times in people's minds, but the truth is they work perfectly together. So in positive psychology, faith is a belief that someone or something outside of you will act in your life and create a result. And in this case, it's a faith that God is over all of the universe, over all things, and will be all in and is all in for your good, your joy, and His glory. So I truly believe, and I'm going to read you one of my favorite Bible verses here in a second, but I fully am convinced that God is all in for my good and my joy and His glory, even in the most difficult, challenging times in my life. And there's a Bible verse to back it up. Actually, there's lots of Bible verses to back it up, but this is my favorite. In fact, it's on my vision board right over there because it just gives me so much incredible encouragement in the most challenging, difficult times in my life. It's Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. And I'm reading it because I love reading it straight out of the Bible. Here it is for you, friend. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. And what's so fascinating to me is, could that line have ended right there and said, no discipline seems pleasant at the time? Probably, but it adds in, but painful. So the disciplines of life, the challenges of life, the adversities and obstacles of life are painful. Have you experienced that? Are you experiencing that today? Are the challenges that you're facing actually, literally, physically, mentally, emotionally, maybe even spiritually painful? Full of pain? So, it goes on to say, no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Here it is. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. For those who have been trained by it. I fully believe that the disciplines of life, the challenges, the adversities, the obstacles that we face, the times we fall down flat on our face, and the times we feel like we've totally failed, those are the moments where we are being shaped and strengthened and refined into the person that we're meant to be, and to the person that we need to be to become the person that we're meant to be, to create the results that we're here to create, to live the life, to produce the outcomes for not just ourselves, but for the people that we're here to serve using our gifts and talents that God gave us. And friend, if you're facing challenges and difficulties today, let me encourage you with this verse that I just read, which is no discipline, no challenge, no obstacle, no adversity seems pleasant, but it's painful. But if you can realize that these disciplines, these challenges, these struggles are here to strengthen you and train you, then you will know for certain that you are being used in these moments, or these moments are being used in your life to position you exactly where you need to be to go exactly where you're meant to be. Now, number one is faith. So I believe that unshakable confidence is built on unshakable faith. And that's something we have to work on, but that's outside of the scope of this video message right here. But number one is faith. The second pillar is hope. Now I know hope is referenced in the Bible, obviously, but in positive psychology, hope is distinguished from faith in this way. The distinction is that hope, although faith is a belief that someone or something outside of you will act in your life to produce a result, hope is a belief that you individually can do something to create a result or outcome in your life. So it means you have agency to act in your life to do something to make a change or to produce a particular result. And so if you don't have hope and you just fully rely on faith, which, oh my goodness, is so amazing, God's grace in our life, and to have faith in that is amazing. But like, if you don't actually have hope in the sense of believing that you can do something, then you're just going to sit there on the couch eating potatoes, having faith all day. And then what are you going to do? You're never going to act. And one thing that I fully believe in my faith, in my walk of faith, is that God wants us to act. God wants us to do something to produce results. He doesn't want to just say, hey, trust me and do nothing. He says, trust me and act, because faith comes from action. Like when you act, you are showing and proving your faith. At least that's what I happen to believe. And so you have to have hope that you can take an action and produce a result, because if you don't have hope that you can take an action and produce a result, number one, you're probably not going to take the action. Number two, you're not going to take the action with the same level of, here it is, confidence. So number one pillar is faith. Number two pillar is hope. Number three pillar is a positive expectation about your performance based on your current abilities and skill level and potential. So look, it's not a positive expectation of like you're going to dominate on the field and be the very best from day one, but it is about realizing that no matter where you are, and I'll give you an example in a second to hit this home, it is about believing that like when you show up, you're going to give it your best, and you have a positive expectation of the result that will happen by you giving your best. It doesn't mean you have an expectation to be the best or to win or to perform at the highest level of everybody, but that you expect to perform at the highest level for you. So as a simple example, I talk about this in my book, Attract Your Potential, which I don't have a copy around me. Otherwise, I'd hold it up and show you. But here's an example I give you. If you're playing basketball against LeBron James, actually, I don't give this exact example in my book, but a general example of playing basketball. But let's do it this way. If you're playing basketball one-on-one against LeBron James, unless you're watching this and you're like Michael Jordan back in the day, or you're someone else that's a great basketball player, like this will probably resonate. If you're on the basketball court playing one-on-one against LeBron James, who do you think is going to win that game? You're playing a 10, let's say. First one to 10 wins. Who's going to win? You? Probably not. But does that mean you shouldn't have confidence in your ability to perform at your highest levels in that game? No, you absolutely should and must. If you want to perform at your highest levels, you've got to show up with the confidence that you have a positive, like I said, a positive expectation of performance based on your current abilities. Not based on the fact that you're going to beat LeBron James, but based on the fact that you know you're going to show up and do your best. So, personally, I wouldn't show up and think I'm going to dominate LeBron James and think that's confidence. I would think that's psychotic. I would think I'm going to give it my best and have positive expectations for I'm going to show up, which leads into pillar number 4, which is vital to understand, is that your confidence has to be built on knowing that you cannot fail over time, meaning you've got a growth and learning mindset, learner's mindset. So in this example of playing LeBron James in basketball, what's going to happen is you're going to realize, number one, you're going to perform at your highest level, or have this belief and confidence that you can play at your highest level in that game without having an expectation that you're going to win, because that would be kind of crazy. But the fourth pillar is where it hits home, which is where the rubber meets the road, which is how can you learn in this situation? How can you grow? How can you refine your skills in that one-on-one match, in that game? So like if LeBron James gets the ball, we check it up, he crosses me over literally in one dribble and dunks on me or passes me because I'm not even quick enough to keep up with him, what could I have learned in that moment? I don't know. I'm not really a basketball expert, but I'm sure there are lots of things that I could reflect on and learn, or I could sit down with him afterwards and like, help me understand. What did you do? How could I do it differently? Or talk with another coach, or like just reflect on what I know about basketball, which to me is very little just from playing when I was little. But like, what can I learn? How can I grow? How can I develop? Like, can I get a step faster or a half a step faster? Because I realized that in that moment, I like realized the speed of this elite level athlete. And now I'm like, wow, I've experienced it. So just by experiencing that interaction, I can be better. I can perform at a higher level just by experiencing it. So if I have this learner's mindset, if I have this growth mindset, then I automatically position myself to get better, faster, stronger, more capable, and refine those skills so that the next time I step up on the court, maybe he still blows past me, but what am I going to learn in that next moment? Can I get better just by being on that court again? And if my confidence comes from I have to beat LeBron James, then I'm never going to have confidence probably ever in my life. But if my confidence comes from I can get better, I can learn, I can grow, I can get a half a step faster, every time he blows past me and dunks on me, I can learn something. I can observe what he does and I can model his abilities so that when I get on the court against someone that's maybe closer to my competitive skill level or my skill level, maybe I got a better chance of showing up and performing and beating this person. Now maybe I can have confidence I can perform at my highest level and potentially beat this other person. But the reality is in any given moment, if your confidence is built on I have to win or it's built on my past experiences, well, guess what? My confidence is going to be shaken in the moment that he blows past because I'm like, whoop, I was right. I shouldn't have confidence in showing up in this game. But if my confidence is on I have faith, I have hope, I have positive expectations of my ability to perform at my highest level given my current abilities and potential, and my confidence is fourth and finally built on knowing that over time, I cannot fail if I have a learner's mindset and I just keep learning and growing and refining myself and my skills and my mindset, my character to get better, that will empower me to get better and better and better, which ultimately will create this upward positive cycle of confidence and strengthen my confidence, just like a muscle gets stronger with every rep. Every time I see myself getting better, every time I show up and I get on the court and I play or I perform or I make the sales call or I communicate or I make a video or whatever it is you do that you want to have confidence in, every time you do it, if you have faith, you have hope, you have the positive expectation of the result or your ability to perform at the highest possible level for your given potential level and abilities today, and you have confidence in your ability to learn and grow in the moment, then you will start to strengthen your confidence and it will get better and better and better every single time. And eventually you'll have such incredible, strong confidence that no one will ever shake your confidence and you will always perform at even higher levels because you have this incredible, powerful, strong confidence. Friend, I hope this message has served you. I hope it boosts your confidence. And if it has, please consider sharing this with a friend or family member or coworker who you believe could benefit from this encouragement and this concept of how to have unshakable confidence in everything you do so you can perform at your highest level, stop being stuck, stop struggling, and break through to create greater momentum in any and every area of your life, personally and professionally. And let me know in the comments below, what did you love about this? What did you not like about this? I'll take the feedback and learn from it. And what else would you love to hear related to confidence or communication or mindset or peak performance in life and career and work? I'd love to be able to share messages that resonate with you. So if you're watching this still at this point, it means maybe you've gotten value from this video, which means I'd love to serve you with more videos. So please let me know in the comments below what you'd love to hear more about or what resonated with you from this message. And again, please consider subscribing and sharing this message with someone who could be blessed and served by it today. Friend, whatever you're going after, refuse to settle for anything less than your greatest potential. Just keep freaking going and great things will happen. Breakthrough is near. Keep your head up. Keep your eyes up. Stay positive and just keep going. You've got this.